What up, people? Pull the mic closer. What up, everyone? Welcome to the Joe McFo Show. We are going to get working on the comic as usual. And what's crazy is this is the 99th stream, which is absolutely insane. I didn't anticipate ever reaching this number. I just kind of assumed that I would be doing live streams for a little while. But we've hit 99, and admittedly, it has been a lot faster since we moved to 2 streams per week. But first off, I want to say thank you guys for sticking with me this long, and for checking out the progress on Shadowboxers and everything. It's super exciting and humbling to see that you guys have found this little corner of the internet and are happy to come back. So thank you. So as usual, we're going to get started on doing comics, and I'm also going to get my second stream started because you know how we do it over here. Got to stream on 2 devices because my internet's too slow to combine it onto one thing. Maybe one day we'll figure that out. But for now, I'm going to hit go live, and we're going to make this work. So let's see. All right. So this is actually a panel from one of the beginning pages of the comic, and I realized as I was going through it that I never did put expressions on Javen and Asim right here. So I'm just gonna fix that up, and then I think that should be mostly good for this page, unless I end up moving to this panel down here because there's not a whole lot there. Clearly, these characters are kind of blocked out, but there's no detail, and I'll have to figure that out. So let's get started on that. And as usual, guys, tell me how your day's been. Tell me how life is going for you. I gotta say, I'm pretty excited about the fact that I figured out something with my cat. For months now, she has been pestering me by jumping up on my desk and messing with all the wires and being a little bit of a nuisance. A very cute nuisance, but a bit of a nuisance. And after talking to a friend of mine, I realized that the solution was simply to just put a chair in between my desk and my wife's desk, and she's been calm. She hasn't tried to do anything that would disturb me. What's up, Megan? Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you. So that actually does make me rather excited to know that I think my desk is probably going to be safe from now on. So yes. All right, let's see. Let's get this sketch in here, and I'm mostly gonna worry about the expression here. But let's see. Is this the right pen? No. There we go. So it looks like I actually got the brows all in the wrong spot. Let's see. Also, Yasha is here. Oh yes, that's right. Yasha is here. He's kind of hidden, but he's right here. We'll hydrate to that. I don't know if I can I get it to show him? Let me see. Yeah, he's kind of hiding. He's kind of hiding right now. But yeah, Megan, I actually took your suggestion about Hina, and it worked. It worked. Just had to place the chair. You know, since this thing is acting up a little bit, let me close a couple of apps here. I just don't want to blast my computer sky high because I've got so many tabs open. Alright, so with this, he's probably going to be opening his eyes because he's basically checking his text. But what's up, everyone on the streams? All the people jumping in. Appreciate you guys for coming on the live. The character that you're seeing me draw, his name is Javen, and this is him. This is my guy right here, and he's a 15-year-old teenager with powers. Of course, the perfect protagonist for this world. But yeah, this is who we're going to be working on drawing for this panel right here, in case you guys are new and aren't aware of what this is. And the 4 main characters for this comic, we'll see if I show all of them today, but they're all right here. We have Javen on the left, we have Zalam, who's his cousin, next to him in the green and purple. Then we have Cairo and Enzi. These are the 4 main members of the, I just call them the peer pressure crew, or the Cypher crew, because it's the title of the comic I'm working on, or at least the name of the episode. So let's see. Let me gather a quick reference here. Feel free to ask any questions that you guys might have about my process or what I'm working on. So let's get him looking in the right direction, because one of the challenges for me is getting the eyes to actually go in the right spot. They either end up looking like cross-eyed, or which is actually kind of happening right now, or they end up looking in a total opposite direction, because eyes are challenging. She just wanted her own workspace to nap. That's all she wanted. But yeah, I didn't know that that's all my cat wanted for months. She's been jumping up and messing everything up. Come to find out, it's just her affection. That's all it is. Thank you for all the hearts on the screen that I'm seeing. Appreciate you. So I don't imagine his expression has to be super complex here, but his face does feel a little strange. Like, that feels like the right size, but maybe I drew his features too big. That's one of the challenges of drawing characters. Sometimes the face is the right size, but the features on the face, like the eyes, nose, mouth, they are not correctly placed. She was so happy in that chair. Yeah, she's super happy. Now she's happy in her cat tree. Not gonna lie, cat tree actually sounds like kind of awesome as a concept for someone to be in. Like, just have a little bed up high looking out the window. Like, that just sounds really nice. It sounds like a really peaceful experience. And I get a little jealous sometimes. I'm like, man, all you have to do is just sit here, clean yourself, and enjoy the sun. And I guess they don't get bored watching the TV or out the window. I guess it's just super exciting for them. Thank you, Gov Goose. Appreciate you for all the likes I'm seeing. The window is cat TV. Yeah, exactly. I don't understand how they don't get bored of that, though. Like, 'cause there's nothing happening. Maybe one thing if, you know, there were cars driving by or something. But it's just wind. And the occasional bird. Which I guess is all the excitement that they need. All you guys on TikTok, feel free to share some thoughts or questions or anything. Let's see. I think I'm going to stretch out his chin just a little bit. By the way, in case anyone's curious, the app I'm using is Clip Studio Paint. Not sponsored, but I would like to be one day. I think I could convince someone to get it. Yeah, there we go. Not too bad. Not too bad. Do I believe he's looking at... I think I can believe he's looking at his pocket down here. Let's get his pupils in the right spot. Yeah, there we go. Something like that. Straight. Yeah, maybe some slightly bigger eyes, because he's still got to have a little bit of cuteness in him. I wonder if there's like a psychological thing I can do if I like played with the size of his eyes for different scenes. Or in some cases where he's with his friends, his eyes are slightly smaller so they take him more seriously. But then when he's like embarrassed or not good at something, he has big eyes to show that he's like more useful or incapable. That'd be an interesting thing to do. Technically, it's not even too late to do that. I just don't know if I'll remember that after making the statement. Let's see here. I'm sure there's someone who's thought of that before. Go. Let's get his hair. He's got to have a nice fro. Nice and triangular, that is. That was one of the fun things about doing his design, creating this kind of triangular fro, because I wanted to do something that was kind of... Because I don't watch a lot of anime, but if I do watch anything, it's more action packed kind of stuff like Samurai Champloo, Cowboy Bebop, and I noticed that all the guys, all the main character heroes have like spiky hair, and I'm like, well, how would I replicate that with an afro? And then I suddenly realized an afro could be whatever shape I want. Like I've seen people who cut their hair to look like Goku or Sonic or something. I'm like, I don't know how you get out of the house with that, but clearly it works somehow. And so I was like, you know, let's see what I can do with my own character, and it ended up working all right. He's got this triangular afro, which I think works really well with the shape language because he has lots of kind of triangle, diamond shapes in his design already. That's just a part of it. Especially for those who haven't seen him before, I'll show you guys here. This is Javen, and I primarily work as a character designer. Like that's my main skill, I guess you could say. But I tried to do something where I included a bunch of triangles in his design. So I tried to add a bunch of triangles here in his hair, right? We see this big old triangle, we see this, we see this, we see this. Then you have smaller things like, let me not use red there, let's try blue. Little triangles here in his eyebrows, obviously the part in his hair. You got the necklace that he wears. And then, man, a lot of these colors is actually gonna be hard to see. Obviously, you got the two big old triangles here on his chest. You got his pocket, and so I really tried to kind of play with that. And even his overall frame in this redesign that I recently did, his whole frame is basically a big inverted triangle. And I thought that it was really helpful for trying to convey what I wanted with this. So yeah, that's kind of why I designed him the way that I did, in case anyone's curious. Let's see. Here we are. So now I think I'm gonna actually, since I see the pencils here, I think I did the pencils for this before I got the new and improved turnarounds. So I'm gonna just revise some of the shapes on his sleeve here, because that was actually one of the most difficult parts of his design. Keeping it consistent was his sleeve, because he's got them rolled up, and actually it was inspired by Michael Jackson videos, believe it or not, because I'm a huge MJ fan, and I wanted to include some sort of homage in his design somehow. And I was like, well, I can't just, give him a Jerry curl. I can't just give him, white socks or, a single glove. So what do I do? And I noticed in the Thriller era, in the Billie Jean Beat It and Thriller videos, for some reason he has his sleeves rolled up in all of them. And I was like, you know what? I don't know why that is, but I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna use that as my inspiration for my character. Plus, my character is a street dancer, so it's possible that he's probably influenced by someone who dances or moves kind of like him in this universe. Of course, this is a fantasy project, but I imagine there's probably a Michael Jackson equivalent, sort of like Powerline. Actually, we went to the store the other day in Texas, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name of the store. I don't know, might be kind of questionable. Megan says, how are we putting MJ in shadow boxes? We just have to make like a singer that everyone knows. So the equivalent I was thinking is like Powerline from a Goofy movie. He's gotta be on that level, like a dude, like he's gotta have the posters in the room. There's gotta be a concert one of these days. Maybe he's singing the equivalent of the Star Spangled Banner at a sporting event, something. Like, I have to include that. But yeah, I went to the store the other day, and it had all this really cool memorabilia from all these movies like Treasure Planet and Hercules. I saw a cup that said Herculade on it. I thought it was awesome. They had Letterman jackets for Little Mermaid. Just really, really cool stuff. And because I don't know if I'm allowed to say the name of the store, I'll just say it was called Lunchbox, but flip the two words. That's yeah. In case you guys are curious. I don't know, I feel like founding mythology of Nahara. it could be some mythology. But I feel like there needs to be like a modern day like equivalent. I don't know, maybe Javen's into the Chris Brown. Would I rate your art? I don't really know how to rate art. I can critique art, but I'm not gonna do that now. I'm streaming. Lunchbox is like family friendly Hot Topic. I didn't know about this place at all. And honestly, I don't think I've been to Hot Topic since like 2016. And they certainly didn't have them in LA, at least not to my knowledge. But I was like, yo, what is this? This is so awesome. Yeah, don't be sad, Tissue Box. It's kind of a strange time for me to critique someone's work because, like I said, I'm streaming right now. Those of you on the Red app, it says there's another viewer who I haven't seen comment yet, so feel free to comment. Say what's up to the people. And like the stream. Yes, please like the stream. Thank you. All right, let's see. This here. said, the sleeves is always one of the most challenging parts. The way I'm trying to think about it is like we have a medium shape for the shoulders, long shape or large shape for the main part of the arm, and then you have two little bumps for the roll up part of the sleeve. The bunched up part, I guess you could say. And as long as I can keep that consistent, then I should be good. Let's make sure we get the pocket here. All right, and then we got his necklace, of course. It's gonna look different than the one I have in this turnaround, but it's faster to draw, so I'm okay with it. And it's for story reasons. It's a good thing that is different. Yeah, it's an intentional decision. I think I probably have his hood up a little high, especially for this angle, so we're going to bring this back down. What is up, Manette? Welcome to the live. Appreciate you for coming on. Can you believe we're already at 99? That means next Sunday, or this Sunday, is going to be 100 streams. Absolutely wild. Anything special planned for 100? Yes, I actually was thinking of doing a type of giveaway challenge. So the details I'm still working out, but I definitely will be announcing it in the next stream, and I'll probably be sending messages on Discord and the newsletter and all that stuff too. So I'm thinking of probably an art book, maybe some stuff from the store, the online store, things like that. But all the details surrounding it still up for debate. But yes, definitely planning something fun and special for that. Back to the MJ thing, have you seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? No, I've never seen that. I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it, unfortunately. Is this something else I had to add to my watch list? Not bad, not too bad. It's coming out well. I forgot to do his other arm, so let's make sure that we get that. But yeah, I think that was pretty successful right here. Shadows. Of course, this is just a pencil, so I technically don't even need to do this. At least not right this second. And oh, he doesn't. Oh, he's wearing a onesie right now because he doesn't have a shirt. So let's give him a shirt. There we go. Now he's dressed like a somewhat respectable 15-year-old. Alright, so I'm going to turn this layer off, and I think for this one, I'm just going to get his face. So, for those who have not seen in a while or do not know, the seams design looks like this. So this is the character we're going to be working on now. He's the other character's father, which obviously is very important. You gotta get that design right from the jump, especially because he's a major character in the story. If it weren't for him, the story wouldn't even exist. So that's how important this guy is. So let's see if we can see how well we can do this. So with his eyes, he's gonna have to be looking at his son. So his eyes are gonna be pointed right here. Towards the bottom. And I'm trying to do something where he's not angry, like he's not frowning, but he is kind of like, oh, what's going on? So I don't want to overemphasize the anger in his brows by any means. It's not a must-watch, but the vibes should be similar to Back to the Future. It's a fun 80s movie. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. Huge fan of Back to the Future. Let's see. Let's get the nose. Up. I don't know if it looks like him just yet, but it looks like a decent looking person, so. Hello everyone coming on the live. Appreciate you for joining. We got definitely add the wrinkles in his eyes. And I also think his eye might be a little off center. There we go. Today was a bit tough working on this because I had a issue with a symmetry tool that I couldn't figure out for a long time. I'm almost embarrassed to say how long of a time. And of course, it was one button click. For Megan, it was the symmetry ruler. It wasn't symmetrying. But I figured it out. Alright, let's get hair here. As I'm drawing this character, I'm reminded of who he was inspired by, and a lot of it actually, I didn't realize, was inspired by Lawrence Fishburne's character in Boys in the Hood. He plays a character named Furious. He's like the main character's dad, and I love the way that he's done in that film, because he's a tough dad, but you could tell he loves and adores his son. I kind of wanted to bring that back because I'm kind of tired of the dumb dad trope that we see in films. I don't know if other people feel the same way or if they've ever noticed it, but it seems like all the dads are just punching bags, you know, like Homer Simpson's, the Peter Griffins, you know, those what's the dad from Drake and Josh, what's his name, Walter, I think. And I want to bring back the days where you respected dads. You know, that's something that I think is lost in most media today. Not all. I'm sure there are some that excel in this area. Let me try to think. Who's a good dad on film? Maybe Hopper, I guess, from Stranger Things. He's okay. He becomes a bit of a punching bag after like season 2, though. When he becomes less serious. But I'm trying to think, who else in the modern day landscape? Jeff Morales is a good dad. Jeff Morales, which is a hydration check. Spider-Man mentioned, gotta drink some water. Who else? You think of any? Oh yeah, what's his name? My Dad the Bounty Hunter. What is his name? Oh my gosh, that's such a good show. We need to finish that. Hold on, My Dad. Has anyone ever seen My Dad the Bounty Hunter? Excellent show. Really funny. What is the dad? Terry, aka was it Sabo or Sabo? Sabo. Yeah. That's a really good show. I think they only got 2 seasons, but it is worth the watch. It's exactly what it sounds like. I'm Lay again. How's everyone? What's up, Amaris? Thank you for coming on. We're just talking about representation of dads in TV and movies, and how there are very few dads that aren't straight up punching bags. And I'm not saying they can't be the butt of the joke sometimes, because like Uncle Phil in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like he was the butt of a lot of jokes, but I don't think there was ever a minute that you didn't really take him seriously. Like you always kind of knew he was that guy that you shouldn't mess with. There's him. Red Foreman from that 70s show also was that dad you didn't mess with. Yeah. Mars says, I got a stomach bug. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Finally eating solid food. That's not soup after 3 days. Oh, goodness. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's gotta be awful. I see someone in here named either Jackie or Jack 2, and if it's Jack 2, is it actually the Naughty Dog game? I'm really curious if that's what it's based on. TikTok comments are very slow today. What's going on, y'all? Y'all good? Y'all having a good day? Am I shadow banned? What's going on? Is there a setting that I need to do? Let me see. Let's see. something about this doesn't feel quite right just yet. I think maybe it's his eyes a little too close. And I think his head is actually a little too large for the position of his head. So let's bring that size down just a little bit. I'm just going to open up that eyebrow a little bit. And then let's actually bring in his cheek a little bit here. Alright, there we go. And then since we're under him, just make sure we get a solid amount of under chin showing. That's one thing that a lot of people forget to do. Forget to add very important details like this. Otherwise, it's just gonna feel very flat. And flat is not what we're going for. Not in this style. Alright, I think this feels pretty good actually. Now the eyes, do they line up with where I want them to go? Let's just check. I think this works. I think that generally works. Can add a couple more finer details here. And then let's just actually create the indication for vibration here. I'm sure there's a good comic way to do it. I just don't know it right now. I'll look it up later when I'm inking. Alright, I think this one's just about ready to go. Let's try working on this next panel. Frame number 6. Alright, so based on all this. Alright. So with that, let's pull this out. What's the best way to go about this? Okay, I have an idea. I'm going to take my turnaround image and I'm going to use that as my base if possible. take this here and we're just gonna scale them properly. Something like this is good. And then if I do that, then his dad, let me get the correct height measurement. So his hair, top of his hair is about where his chin is. Okay. So this. That's about what we're looking at. Which I think is fair. I think that's pretty good. Plopping right here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to lower the opacity and I'm going to attempt to make it work. Over here, and then actually Javen should be a little closer, I think, because they're standing pretty close to each other just in this frame. Oop. Let's take this 10 head cannon, move that over, and we're going to skew it. Is the stream hiccuping for Manette or Amaris? Oh man, not again. Okay, one says a little bit but not too bad, another one says not at all. Okay, well I'm gonna assume it's not necessarily me then. Let's get this right. Actually, I just realized, I think the seam is actually 9 heads tall. I think he's 9. Worst case scenario, I'll just change it later. Change this cannon later. Start with this. bend here. About 6 to 6.5 is where the knees are going to be. It's kind of standing at an angle, but it actually might work better this way. Kind of do a little contrapposto. Actually remove this. Put his arm back where it needs to be. Maybe I'll have him tap his hand. This. Rotate him just a little bit. And then we'll take cues from this drawing here. We're just gonna plop them in to a different grid. Texting. So his head's going to be down a little bit. That, because that's how everyone texts now. Everyone just has their head down, walking from place to place. Javen is no different in this scene. Go. And of course I can always scale them up a little bit. So make it take a little bit more room in the panel. There we go. You can move them off to one side a little. These two characters in the back, I'll just fix them up a little bit. None of them have this cape. This one, he's probably gonna get cut off a little bit. And this character, this one's a woman. She's going to be a little shorter as well, and we'll also fix up her physique. I have to figure out what probably move these two guards back just a little bit. Merge this one, make this one guards. Javen. Let's see. Now the good news is there's going to be very little detail on them here in this shot, so I don't have to worry about that too much. I just need to make it convincing. That's the goal. So I'm going to do another frame, body frame, Javen, just make this one a little bit cleaner. Two heads, 3, 4, that's 6, it's going to be 8 and 8.5. Actually, I can really just have him have his arms right at his sides. You don't really need to bend your arms that much when you're texting, or really stretch them out. Oop. Feet here. The shoes are rather large. Definitely don't want to miss that or get the incorrect size. Getting close, but now this leg is kind of leaning forward a bit, so we're just going to skew that back. this. Back a little bit. There we go. Thank you for the follow, Bubble. Still some lag. Amara says, Jordan, I've been here for a good while lurking. It's skipping more noticeably on my end. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry, guys. If it's not working for you guys, I understand if you guys have to hop off. It's alright. There's not a whole lot I can do on my end, unfortunately. iKids Design, what's going on? Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. One day we will have the power to cross the streams. I know, right? One day. Wish I had that power now. Alright, so we got big strong dad over here. My goal with this design was really to try and push how large he was, like just a larger than life, almost superhero type. Manette says, I tend to stay on so you still get the views. It's not too bad, but if it gets annoying, I just mute and leave the video playing. Oh, that's so kind of you, Manette. Thank you. One day I need to make a shirt that says Tech Issues Gang or Tech Issues Crew. Horse's legs. It's fun seeing the process. I'm trying to learn how to create scenes from my imagination. It's quite difficult. It is. It's super difficult. And I wouldn't even say I'm doing all this from imagination. I have a lot of references. I've taken from photos. I've taken from 3D models. Other people's compositions. I've like adapted them to fit what I'm trying to do. It's hard, like you mentioned. But I'm glad that you're enjoying seeing the process. think he's actually a little too large. Oh, no, actually, I'm wrong. Feels about right. Might have to move Javen over a little bit, just so his hand doesn't interfere too much. Make sure I save here. Time to get slightly more buff. We'll keep the stream on. Don't forget to like. Thanks, Megan. I appreciate you for popping on the stream. Go get buff. It's all good. Alright, now I'm going to do the other guards here. So let's see, this character is this guy, and he's basically got his hands on his hips, so I think we can continue with that trend. This guy's gonna be a little bit bulkier, or a little more girth. this character here, I'll keep her, maybe get arms behind her back. Kind of picturing her as like a Koye or something. There we go. So now we got our 4 characters mapped out. I think this is pretty solid. Let me just double check the heights. She is about neck. Okay, she could be a little bit taller, this character here. She's like slightly shorter than this one. So there we go. Alright, that wasn't too bad. That was not too bad. Alright, I'm gonna delete the layers that I don't think I need anymore. Alright. And now I'm just gonna put some clothing on these characters because I don't think I'm gonna do much of their faces. Just doesn't make a whole lot of sense because they're so far away, you know? So why spend all that effort working on something that's so far away? Or if I do show their faces, it's gonna be real minimal. Do you use grid lines to get the perspective correct? I've spent a bit of time practicing the box mannequin, but it always falls apart when I try to draw multiple figures in perspective. Yeah, I had like a very loose grid here in the red that you can see. I also have a 3D model that I was using, although you can't really see the grid lines on here. I think if I were to scale it down, oh no, you can't even see them there. But yes, I do think that's a good method to use. Another way you can do it is use 3D models of some kind. If you use 3D models, that is typically going to help you a lot. Another way people do it is they will take like an action figure, so like, you know, take something like this, and they'll kind of pose it, and they will just figure out how to make it work from there. So there's a lot of different ways that it works, or that you can get it to work. It really just depends on you. sweatpants in here. Shirt. Now we're gonna do a seam. Just get his outfit visible for myself. So that's him. Start from here instead. He's got a big old mantelpiece on his upper chest and shoulders. Cloak, of course, it's going to go down to a little lower than his knees. Fist here. To about the knee, so that's going to cut off about there. Go, and then we'll just put the necklace right here. Fix the shoulder up. patterns right on the mantle, the robe. Actually, let me back up and do that again. And then we have this pentagon on this belt. Down a bit. Gonna get bunched up here. And of course he's got his boots. Look at this again. I think I need to make this a little thicker. Just come back a little bit more. I think that's looking pretty solid. He's got 4 large Bantu knots. So let's do that here. 2, 3, 4. Not even really sure what her outfit is just yet. I have to find it. So I'll leave that there. And this is going to be our guard, Kojo. Got a bit of a receding hairline. Seed. Big old mustache. Because all the hair that gets lost on the head grows on the face. think that'll work for this page for now until I figure out their outfits and until it's time to start inking. So let's actually save this. I'm gonna move to another page. Cat, yes, that is Yasha. Here, let's see. Let's bring Yasha in here if he's accepting. Yasha, come here. Come here, buddy. Okay, he walked out the room, so I guess I can't show you. Maybe he'll come back. We'll see. I don't understand why cats are like that. They just they want your attention, and then you tell them to come here, and they walk out the room. Oh, now you're back? Here. Take a little cat break. For those who don't know, this is our boy Yasha right here. Here he is, all excited to be on YouTube. Grooving to the music. Sometimes my cat wants me to watch him eat. Yeah, I can imagine. He just wants us to give him something to eat. I don't think he's ever asked us to watch him. I don't think he cares if he does it in the dark by himself. But at least not with me. I don't know. But yeah, this is our boy. This is Yasha. This calls for a hydration check, by the way. Please don't get on my desk, buddy. There's lots of stuff you can't step on. Well, I guess it's a good time to say that for the next stream, I mentioned it earlier, but I want to do something special for the 100th stream. And so I'll probably be posting this in the Discord, and I'll definitely announce it next time. But it's probably going to look like a fan art contest, and for the winner, they're probably going to get a free art book or a free thing in the store, depending on if they have one or not. So still deciding exactly how it's going to work, but I'm hopefully going to plan that out over the next day, or actually hopefully tomorrow. And that way by Sunday, y'all who want to do it can be prepared. So yes, that should be exciting. But yeah, we've hit 100 streams on this channel so far, and it's absolutely crazy because it started a couple of years ago, just as a desire to get the project out there, and you guys have stuck with me for so much of it, and including my long hiatus, which I don't think helped my channel grow by any means. But it's all right. It's about the slow growth, right? Right, Yasha? He's purring right now. I don't know when I'm gonna get back to drawing, but I'm also curious, guys. If you have other ideas for live stream formats, let me know. We could totally do a Q&A. Please don't eat my headphones. We could do a Q&A. We could do some sort of presentation where I share with you some character design tips or concept art tips or something like that. Maybe that's what I'll do for a future stream, because I have a lot of presentations and lectures and stuff that I've done for college courses, and they're just kind of sitting there right now. So who knows? If you guys are interested in something like that, let me know, and we can make that happen. We can make that happen. Right, Yasha? Right, bud? He says yes. He's not being held here against his will, I promise. He can leave anytime he wants to. All right, let's see if we can stream with him in my lap. Oh, okay. You want to get off? All right, he's had his fun time. Now we're back at it. Let's see. What was I gonna work on? I think I was gonna work on this panel right here. He heard you. Oh. He must have. Because I didn't. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember. I hated how his hand was looking. Stretch out this arm a little bit. Seems like it's pinching him a little bit here, so we're just gonna expand that. Let's see if we can get Cairo and Enzi inked. Let's see. Let me check out. I gotta figure out which order the character's gonna be in, so let me see. Yeah, I think Enzi's gonna have to be in front somehow. Get his goggles here. I'm worried because he's about to get arrested, so we're gonna have those eyebrows up. He's got like a little pouty face. Yes, that's Yasha that you all are hearing. He doesn't have much of an Adam's apple, so I don't want to emphasize that too much. Hansi looks good. Thank you. I actually want him to look even more worried. Let's see how we can do that. Maybe I'll make his goggles a little bit bigger to kind of give the illusion of youth even more so. Let me soften the jaw a little bit more too. Go. His arms like that. Let me actually push out his body a little bit further. Shirt like that, and then of course his backpack. Just gonna reach across. Now I look at him again, looks like the back of his head could use a little bit more afro to it. So we're gonna stretch this out. Enzi here. I'm gonna try and go for Cairo. He's probably gonna have a different reaction. He's probably gonna be more angry than anything. Got a little bit of a double chin on him. Yasha's got some catnip, and he's kind of going wild right now. Oh, he jumped out of the chair. I was gonna show you, but he jumped out of the chair too quick. Oh, is he back in it? Let's see if he does anything cute. Let's see. No, just regular cat stuff. Hey, you see me spying on you, bud? Alright, we don't need to see that. He's just looking himself now. This is PG. This is PG rated stream. Goodness, Yasha, control yourself. Be a little wider. I have him basically looking straight ahead. So we have the horizon line about here, so it's gonna be pretty horizontal. Right here. Actually, probably like this. Made some progress on this panel. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. But you know what, guys? I think I'm gonna wrap it up about here because there's not a whole lot else I could really add to this without starting a whole new drawing. So again, I want to thank you all for being a part of the Joe McFo show and the whole experience we've had for the past 99 streams. And yeah, I'll see you this Sunday for the 100th. And yeah, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Peace.